When something happens, what meaning do you give it? Does that meaning get assigned automatically? Or do you consciously choose what you want to make it mean? This episode is about what happens versus the meaning you give it. You're listening to Pure Light, where we explore how you can believe in yourself and be happy with who you are so that you feel worthy of your craziest dreams and confident in your power to make them happen. My name is Ailey. I'm a coach, writer, and Kundalini yoga and meditation teacher. This is episode 72. So I want you to imagine this. You've been away for the weekend. You're getting ready to leave the hotel. So you pack up your stuff, you grab some breakfast and some coffee or decaf or tea or whatever you drink in the morning. You check out of the hotel. You pack up the car, set up the GPS, put your seatbelt on, turn on the car, put it in gear, pull out of the parking lot, make a couple of turns, and you get on the highway. And you're excited that you're on your way early because you've got a 9-hour drive ahead of you. And then you look at the gas gauge and you realize, oh my God, it's almost empty. And you just drove by a bunch of gas stations on your way to the highway. So what do you say to yourself? What is the thing that you're telling yourself about what this means? Like, how do you explain it to yourself? There are many things that you could say. For example, you could say, wow, I'm so stupid. What was I thinking? Why didn't I get gas when I drove past those gas stations? Why didn't I think of it then? And if this is a pattern, you might go on to say something like, I always mess up. I'm just a screw up. I never get anything right, and keep going from there. Or you could say something like, I need to get off the highway and get some gas. So you always have a choice as to what you tell yourself or what you make something mean. There's the situation. So in this case, you're on the highway for a long drive and you have no gas. And then there's your thoughts about the situation, which could vary greatly depending on how your mind reacts. So it could be anything from, okay, I need to fix this, to like, wow, I suck. When the mind reacts automatically and without awareness, it seems like you don't have a choice as to what you make something mean. That's what happens when you think compulsively. Meaning gets assigned automatically. Compulsive thinking is the kind of thinking that happens when you don't even realize that you're thinking. So you're not aware of it because you're so heavily absorbed in whatever's going on inside your head. It's almost like you're drowning in thought. So it's hard to distinguish between what you're observing around you, like what's happening, and all the stuff that's going on in your head about it. Because the story in your head is so deeply intertwined with what's happening. When you think compulsively, events come with inherent meaning, which means the meaning you give something isn't a conscious choice. It's an automatic thing that you're kind of powerless to change unless you have the awareness to change it. So awareness is the only thing that can change it. It's realizing that you're doing this, because as soon as you realize you're doing it, you have a choice. And this is why it's so important to be aware of your thinking, so that you don't interpret events in a way that is disempowering for you. The thing that I had you imagine was something that I did recently. It was probably about 2 months ago. And it wasn't a big deal at all. I was just like, okay, I have to get off the highway, which is ironic because I just got on. But if I had done this like 15 years ago, I would have been very angry with myself for doing something so stupid. And I probably would have beat myself up about it. So when you aren't aware of your thoughts, everything is a jumble, and it's hard to distinguish between what happens and what you think about what happens. But when you bring awareness to your thoughts, you stop thinking compulsively, and you can distinguish between what happens and the meaning you give it. You can see that events don't inherently have a specific meaning, and that you have a choice as to what you make them mean. So in the next episode, I will be talking about where self-judgment comes from. If you want to get that, subscribe to Pure Light wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also go to purelightpodcast.com to listen to all the episodes, and they're available there as soon as they're published. And I also want to share something new. So if you want to get self-love strategies in your inbox every Sunday, I'm going to start sending out emails every week. So they'll include things like practices and perspectives and tools that you can use to see things in a new light and fall in love with yourself. You can subscribe to that at purelightpodcast.com. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, may you be guided by your light.